Hello there. Welcome to my channel Wildlife and Travel with Kamulika. Here is a quick recapitulation of part 1 and 2 of this video on our bird photography tour in eastern Bhutan. We were a group of 7 members who were part of an 8 days, 7 nights tour organized by Satyr Tragopan. This is what our entire tour route looked like. The videos so far have covered our journey from Zhemgang to Yongkhola, Bhutan and then Zhemgang, and our sightings of the beautiful nuthatch, blood pheasant, the Himalayan monal and the white-bellied heron. For more on part 1 and 2 of this video, please refer to the link provided in the description of this video. In this video, I will be taking you through the last leg of our journey, Zhemgang to Nobding, Thimpu and Phuentsholing. We were on the 6th day of our tour. We wrapped up our morning session at Zhemgang with the critically endangered white-bellied heron. We stopped at a small settlement at Thimphu for our breakfast cum lunch. Thimphu is a birding hotspot in Zhemgang, and the Bhutan Bird Festival is an annual event held there. We saw a board that said Bhutan Bird Festival, and it was mere coincidence that a great myna was perched close by. From Zhemgang, we moved towards our destination for that day, Nobding. To maintain our schedule, it was decided that there would not be a separate stop for lunch in between. The distance between Zhemgang and Nobding was approximately 160 kilometers. Our speed was slower than normal as the drive was through treacherous mountain roads prone to frequent landslides. Wherever we traveled in Bhutan, it was lush green everywhere. Bhutan has an estimated 72% under forest cover and is the only carbon negative country in the world. Despite no designated stops, we stopped twice en route, once upon sighting a collared owlet and again when we sighted about 10 to 12 rufous-necked hornbills. The rest of the journey remained uneventful, and by late afternoon we had reached a town called Trogon, where we took a break and then resumed our journey to Nobding. The journey from Trogon to Pele Pass in Nobding took us about 1 to 1.5 hours, and the drive was scenic beyond words. It was evening by the time we reached the Pele Pass, but there was still plenty of daylight and we saw quite a few birds in the next 1 hour. Nearby, there was a playful troop of central Himalayan langurs who were curious about our presence and kept us company for a while, albeit from a distance. We were back to the pass very early in the morning. This was the ideal habitat of the Satyr Tragopan. We had missed the Tragopan the previous evening, and our guides wanted to make sure we didn't miss another opportunity. While one of the guides was on the lookout for the Tragopan, we continued with our photography and sighted some typical montane habitat birds among others. After birding at the Pele Pass, we drove to a location where the probability of seeing a Tragopan was high. As the road was not motorable beyond a point, we alighted from our respective vehicles and walked a bit to reach a point where we hoped we would see one. We did see one. It was a male that hurriedly crossed the road. Most of us did not get satisfactory photos of it. Despite the disappointment, we continued to check other species in the same place. We concluded our birding in Nobding that morning and headed to Thimphu, the capital of Bhutan. On the way, we passed through the Royal Botanical Garden and then drove to Lobesa, where we stopped near the Lampelri Recreational Park and did some roadside birding. By evening, we reached Thimphu, where we stayed for the night at the Park Hotel. It was the eighth and final day of our tour, and we were yet to get some decent pictures of the Satyr Tragopan. Sherab, our Bhutanese guide, refused to give up. He was confident of finding it near Thimphu. So, we drove for about an hour from Thimphu to the Jigme Dorji National Park at Gasa. Stretched over an area of 4,316 square kilometers, the Jigme Dorji National Park is the second national park in Bhutan. And we were not disappointed after having driven down there. Finally, we saw two males of the Satyr Tragopan, an adult and a sub-adult. Shortly, we located a female too that was feeding on young leaves. We also sighted a long-billed thrush foraging nearby. Thereafter, we exited the national park and went towards the Tango Monastery, where we sighted a pair of rufous-bellied woodpeckers. There was a male and female woodpecker looking for insects. And the male was successful in getting an insect. From there, we headed out of Thimphu and moved towards Phuentsholing, our ultimate destination for the day. En route, we stopped at a place where we saw some river lapwings. After lunch at a restaurant at Wangkha, we resumed our photography just behind that restaurant. With the help of our guides, Shondeep, Sherab, and Pema, we had the following sightings that afternoon. It was finally a wrap. With the Himalayan Kutia, we concluded our 8 days photography tour in Bhutan. Even before we had realized it, 8 days had just flown by. It had been an incredible 8 days where we had enjoyed every moment of being in the midst of raw nature, in the untouched and pristine forests of eastern Bhutan. Thanks to our very proficient and knowledgeable guides, Shondeep and Sherab, we had been able to sight as well as photograph all major bird species that are found in the eastern part of Bhutan and much more. By evening, we had reached the Bhutan gate at Phuentsholing, and it was time to say farewell to the land of the Thunder Dragon and to our 3 Bhutanese counterparts. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video on the third and final part of our Eastern Bhutan photography tour. Please like, share and subscribe.